wondering, putting aside the fact that we know some of the monies were diverted and taken by people that, with high positions in Zelensky's inner circle, putting that aside, they have shown courage and valor on the battlefield, and they did the impossible. They have now extended this conflict out for an entire year, and yet they've been at a decided disadvantage when it comes to the weaponry of war, because Putin does not have the same restrictions as Zelensky does.
Well, the tanks that we are providing them, Germany and the United States, should really shore up their defense. I don't expect Russia to be able to take more than 25% of that country. He has 20 now. You might be able to carve out another 5%, but Russian casualties now are 1,000 a day. And the army that he has in there now is untrained, and it's going to be a catastrophe. So, yes, if I were the president and I saw Putin marching to Kyiv, that would change the equation. Absolutely would change it. But right now, the stalemate, and that's what it is working against Russia. And we need Putin out of there because he is an evil megalomaniac. But remember, on this.
But to get there, don't you have to fight the war to win the war? You know, I got hit in a piece on Mediaite saying, well, Hannity, who supported the war in Afghanistan and the war in Iraq, which I did support, but it was a very different time, Bill, and we've learned a lot from those conflicts. We did not fight those wars to win the war. Now, Donald Trump showed us another way to fight a war, and that's when he defeated the caliphate. And it was unmerciful, never-ending, unceasing bombing of the caliphate, and he beat them back and defeated them. And I'm not willing to go through long, protracted wars and send kids door to door. First of all, our military technology is way more sophisticated than when, after 9/11, we went into Iraq and Afghanistan. We have the ability to push buttons in any state and with pinpoint accuracy take out targets all over the globe. That's how we should be fighting any war we are involved in my view.
Yeah, but, you know, I wrote all about that in Killing the Killers and how unbelievable our weaponry is, but Putin's got the same kind of weaponry. So you don't want to get this madman, and I say that literally because there's no reason on earth for him to do this and put to suffering in hundreds of thousands of deaths. I mean, you got to be a madman. So I would basically tell the Ukrainians, we're gonna support you as best we can, and that's the key word, as best we can. I mean, we can't be throwing $3-4 trillion into that place. You just can't. There's got to come a point. But at the same time, the Ukrainians are going to have to, you know, fight on the ground for every inch of their soil, which I think they will. You know, I think that will continue. And now we have Xi getting into it, the Chinese guy. We don't want this to escalate to a world war where tens of millions of people die. It could get out of control very easily. So you've got to be methodical and disciplined and forward-looking. Now, do I have any confidence that the Biden administration is methodical and disciplined and forward-looking? No. And that disturbs me. I mean, they can't even handle the train wreck in Ohio.
So we're going to just continue to pour hundreds of billions of dollars, and at best, the best we can hope for is a tie. The best we can hope for is a long, protracted conflict that maybe one side eventually gives up, and we keep providing the munitions and the monies necessary. Is there ever a point where we say you're on your own?
I don't see that point happening. I don't see it. I don't think Trump would do that if he's reelected. I don't think Trump would say you're on your own, Ukraine. I don't believe he would. But you have to be disciplined in the way you help Ukraine. If Putin were to succeed there, that would be a catastrophe and I think lead to World War III. But I don't think he's going to succeed. I think there's something going to happen to Putin. So you're buying time. That's what you're doing now with our large.
Well, my hope has been that they take him out sooner than later, and that means his inner circle.
You bet. And look, It's all about China now. If China helps Russia, oh my God. If China starts to send weapons to Russia, I don't even know. But I don't think China's going to do that, because then we'd have to slap sanctions on China. And the whole world gets disrupted. And the economy, oh my God.
Bill, the Chinese are showing nothing but hostility and aggression towards the United States.
But they pull back at the last.
No, they didn't. Where did they pull back, Bill?
In Taiwan. I mean, the provocations in Taiwan over the last 3 months have been a lot less. And I'm hoping to get to the.
They just sent their Navy last week through the Straits of Taiwan.
Well, I mean, they're sailing around, but they're not basically.
They're sailing around in Taiwan waters. They're flying their fighter jets above their airspace almost daily.
Yeah, but they've always done that. I mean, what they haven't done is been bellicose and say, look, you got to this date or whatever. And we're moving our carriers out there, and the Japanese are finally wising up. And, their military is expanding rapidly. But all of this is bad. I mean, we want to get to a point where we kind of settle this stuff down, because a world conflict is going to be something that no human being can even imagine.
Well, I agree with that part. I don't want a world conflict, nor do I think the American taxpayers, if Ukraine does not have the munitions needed to win the war, we have to ask, what is our end game here?